Mind Gap Podcast.
Hey everybody, welcome to Mind Gap Podcast. I'm Doug.
I'm Justin.
And Justin, this week I have a question for you, sir.
Hit me.
You joined the Discord chat the other night while we were playing some Marvel Rivals.
Yes.
And during
Great question,
that
Doug.
chat, we took a moment to show you the game and things like that. And of the things we showed you were all the butts of the various characters. Which of the butts did you think was the best of all the butts that you saw?
I'm not gonna lie. Like you guys built up Venom's dumper pretty significantly. You're like, just wait till we get to Venom, and Venom's didn't disappoint. Yeah. Like I gotta say, Venom's, and I think his costume has a lot to do with it. Mm-hmm. I think the fact that the symbiote, however they said it in the movie, the live action movie, is so, it just hugs him so nicely. It's got a little sheen to it. Mm-hmm. I think, man, he's got some cake.
Yeah.
That Venom got cake.
Yeah. Black Panther also.
Black Panther had some good. Yes, absolutely. I think it's the costumes. I think those costumes lend themselves.
Yeah, and the female ones, unfortunately, are also very supple butts.
Supple butts and everything else. I mean, it's you can kind of. It felt like a throwback to how video games used to be designed in the early 2000s, just disproportional on many fronts.
The thing is, it's a little more subtle now.
Yeah.
Like, it's still just like unrealistic that every one of them is just, Also, this drives me crazy. Crazy. Like Cloak and Dagger. So those are two characters into one. Cloak is the dude that wears the cloak, and Dagger is the blonde lady. Dagger runs around in heels.
Oh, really?
And she hears
that's impressive.
You hear her go clip clop, clip clop. I'm like, fuck that, guys. Come on.
Tactically speaking.
Come on, give her slippers or something. I don't know. Give her anything. Like, don't just. They're just running around in fucking heels. I'm like, no, they're not. No, they're not. Absolutely not. That's bullshit.
Again, tactically speaking, I feel like a Dagger would know better.
Right.
From a tactical standpoint, that's just horrible. You don't want to have heels on, especially on the battlefield. Especially when it's 8v8.
6v6.
It's not what whatever. It's not what you want. Either one. You don't want it on 6v6 either.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think I'm in the minority here. I don't know. This is gonna sound like I'm virtue signaling, but I mean this from the bottom of my heart. I hate the objectification of characters in games. I really don't enjoy it. A lot of people are like, well, if I'm gonna be sitting there playing hours on this character, I'd rather look at something pretty nice, like a butt. Like a nice, good butt on a lady. I'm like, I don't know, man. I can just go masturbate. I can just go do that and then go live my life. I don't need to be like, look at his nice butt. Look at his butt, Drives me kind of nuts.
I'd like to say that while you are taking the moral high ground, many people online, I just Googled Marvel Rivals character butts. Many people don't have as moral high ground as you have. Booty tier list. The ultimate Marvel Rivals booty tier list.
Yeah.
And then there's just a whole bunch of screenshots if you move over to images. So yeah. If you guys want to see what we're talking about, please feel free. I'll say this. If this screenshot is legit, Iron Man, I don't think that is structurally, I don't think the way that his butt sits in this suit, not structurally sound. I think we've compromised some of the structure of his suit to get the roundness in the back here.
Well, I'm not sure which one you're looking at, but I did send you a video a little bit earlier that in response to this, someone built a butts and bulges mod for the dudes in the game.
Unreal.
And
unreal.
Hilarious.
Okay,
they did that with Spider-Man, Black Panther, Iron Man, Mr. Fantastic, and Captain America. And it's like you can see like they've got huge dicks.
Oh no, I'm sorry. That is what this is from. Marvel
Yeah.
Rivals Butts and Bulges mod adds booty to male heroes. Yes. Okay. Yeah. Well, you know what? I take it back because isn't a dome is a pretty sound structure. So maybe that does reinforce his iron suit.
I don't know, but he's made some modifications to say the least. But I do appreciate that. I was like, equal opportunity. Let's go. Let's do this.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Like Captain America deserves it. That's America's ass. All right. Like,
Well, yeah. Captain America did not, when you guys were going through them again, Captain America, I was like, that's not America's ass. I don't know what you're talking about, but that does not work. I do like there's a subreddit here, Girl Gamers. It says Marvel rival male characters have no butts. Sexualize the men, make it even.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it's just a great.
Just hold my beer.
Yes. Someone said Venom has cake, but that's about it.
Yeah.
And again, everyone's on Team Venom for this.
Yeah, man. He's got a solid ass. That's for sure. So
yeah.
Yeah, and then some of the skins on this too are just like, oh my god! When we showed you the Invisible Woman one, you immediately go, oh my god! Like the scary one. It's just like doesn't leave much to the imagination there,
No. Again, we've talked about this many times before too. Not great for a battlefield. Like, do you remember we talked about like the medieval the guys are all like. In any of the D&D lore or the comics or anything, all the guys are dressed in armor, this and that, and then girls have like chainmail over their hoo-has and their doodads, and it's like that's not, again, from a tactical standpoint, that's not what you want to wear into the battlefield.
No,
that's gonna do no good.
Yeah, no, that stuff irritates me. It's like they make like breasts for them on their armor. I'm like
literal breastplates. Yeah,
it's like no, I mean that I think I read some cracked article back in the day. It's like that actually makes the armor weaker by making that and melding it like that. That it actually makes it more of a liability.
Okay, so there you go.
Like that,
So again, Iron Man. So then I go back to my original statement. Iron Man's armor is compromised now.
Yes, it is
with this bulge mod.
But he also has nanobots, so whatever. We're living in a world where a guy could snap his fingers with 5 pieces of jewelry, 6 pieces of jewelry, and be okay. Like and the world disappears. So But that was fun. It was fun having you hop on there and just be like, "What is this?"
Right. Well, that's what again I saw. I was just perusing through, kind of trying to get rid of all the notifications on Discord, and I scrolled down and I was like, "Oh, people are in the voice chat. Let me just hop it. I'm not doing nothing." Yeah. And it was fun. The shitty thing is it made me want to play this goddamn game more. Yeah. And I did a little bit of a deep dive, and apparently even with some emulators, PC emulators, people are getting 100-year bans.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I'm like, well, shit.
Third party stuff.
Come on,
like,
man.
No, nothing. They're like, you can't do it.
I think the big problem for me is, and this is again wonderful content for the podcast. People are dying to know what my problem with buying a PC is, but the only reason I'm going to use it is for gaming, and the amount that I game I cannot justify the cost of buying a PC. If I could figure out a solid way to do it on the Mac, like a cost-effective, solid way to do it on the Mac that would not get me banned, like some sort, like running one of those third-party whatevers. But it seems as though they're cracking down on those too. So my options are limited here. I don't know what to do. Yeah, I don't know what to tell you.
Well, when your Mac dies, just get a PC.
This is the thing. Macs don't die, though, Doug. It's very well documented.
They
Apple
suck
products,
your life away. So they siphon away your life force.
Apple products last forever because they take your life force.
That's right. They absorb your life force in the process. So, yeah, that's good though. Now it was great because you hopped in and then we were like talking, and then all of a sudden we're like, let's show them the butts. And as we're like mid showing you butts, Slotty came in. And was like, what the fuck are you guys doing? We're like, we're showing Justin all the butts in the game.
And here's the thing, Slotty knew the assignment. He's like, "Oh, show him this one." Like,
yeah, show him Psylocke.
He knew it right away. It's like, all right, here we go. Yep, I know what this is.
Yeah, it was very, very funny. So Marvel Rivals, they got 2 new characters out there, and I have to say, Human Torch doesn't have much of an ass. Doesn't have much of an ass. I was like, it's kind of weird.
He burns a lot of calories.
He does. Did I tell you? I don't know if did I tell you what Natalie said to me when she was playing this the other night as Human Torch?
I don't think so, no.
Okay, I told just about everyone else, but I guess I didn't tell you. She was like, hopping on to play against bots or whatever, and she figured out if you click, you can spin the model around in the selection screen, and she spin him around. She goes, "Hey, Dad, check it out. It's his butt." And I go, "Hey, what are you doing looking at his butt?" She goes, "Dad, he doesn't know. He can't see me."
He doesn't know.
The way she said, he's like, "He doesn't know. He can't see me." I go, "If you were a boy doing this to a female model, I'd be like, God damn it, we're gonna have a psychopath on our hands."
Right.
You know, this is just, ugh. I was like, but since it's a girl, I was like, it's so innocent. Be like, he doesn't know, Dad. It's fine. But yeah, you put that in context, boy. It's like, Daddy, she doesn't know. She can't see me.
She
it's
can't
like,
see what I'm doing.
Right?
Oh boy.
Flipping those roles makes a big difference.
It's amazing.
You know?
Yeah, it's genuinely amazing how that works.
Yeah. It's fun to think about that kind of stuff, just for fun. I think we talked about it before, like if you flip the gender roles of like Forrest Gump, you'd be like, that's a different movie. Different movie.
Oh man, that changes a lot of shit. We used to play that game when we were in writing class at Second City.
Yeah.
They would always let you say, like, in a very real way, they're like, because by default, even a lot of women will write, or at least at the time would write, male characters. And so they were trying to break you out of the habit and saying, okay, is there a reason for the character to be male? If not, swap gender roles and see what happens. Does it make it funnier? Does it change the meaning? Does it make, and so that was always a fun game. But then there's certain things where you do it and you're like, oh, that changes the movie in a very sinister way.
That is a different movie. Because imagine, Forrest, waiting outside of Jenny's college, whatever. It's like you flip the gender roles, you're like, I don't know, man. Just, I don't know. It's just, it doesn't feel good when you think about it at all.
Right.
Like, just really, really not cool when you do that. I had that same exercise in writing in Second City. I actually got the note like, hey, I think I wrote the scene of like, it was supposed to be like a knock on snooty people who think they know everything there is to know about a particular, like the idea was like, it was a movie club. Yeah. With I wrote it as like it was like three women who were having their movie club, and one of them brought their boyfriend along, and they were just ripping apart American Psycho. Like, this is so misogynist and yada yada yada. And the guy was like, actually, and he was like, I didn't realize it, but I was having a mansplain. And the teacher goes, this seems like really like mansplaining. She goes, what if you flipped the genders in that? And I go, oh, that's infinitely better.
It's just a
light. Like, you got three dudes being like, this is so, but then you have the guy bring his girlfriend along. He's like, actually, it's not. If you know anything about, Brett Elson, that's like, he's actually this. And she then starts correcting them and they get all flustered. It was infinitely better sketch all around. And my intention wasn't to be like, actually, ladies, but that's exactly how it read. And I'm like, oh, and I felt writing taught me a lot about how, like, me not intentionally, I was unintentionally writing stuff that was just not cool,
Yeah.
And I was like, and to this day, I'm ashamed of what I wrote and some of those things.
But here's the thing. I do think, I do think that there is and everything comes with limits and guardrails to it. But I think you need to be allowed to make mistakes like that in order to figure out where the mistakes are to then grow out of it. Like, so like I would say, I would contest, don't be ashamed at what you wrote. Be like, cool, I wrote it, I identified it, and I was like, cool, now I'm a better writer for it,
I am, and I appreciate it was Jessica Mitlow, God bless her soul.
Oh, she was amazing.
It was amazing. And she was just like, Doug, I don't think so. And I was just like, well, it's because I respected her so much that I felt like I was letting her down.
No, I dig it. Yeah, exactly.
And I was like, I'm ashamed because this is not what I intended, but I'm making the wrong people the butt of the joke. And I feel awful that I had to read this out loud to people. People had to act this out. And I feel awful because I'm like, yeah, I wrote that. That was me. God damn it.
It's tough. It's a tough phase to go through, but when you get there, but like it needs like that uncomfortableness. There needs to be a little bit of grace in those scenarios so that someone can figure it out. And as long as they're willing to do the work and like once they recognize it, to be like, cool, I can make that switch and do that. Like, I think it's so important in the process.
Yeah. And it taught me to think about gender roles and creativity and thinking about things like who can be what, and things like that, and being more flexible.
Well, it's interesting. Now when Drew and I are writing stuff, like I find myself, and this is not like I'm not setting out to do it, but like I'm finding myself when I sit down to start writing a new thing, like I find myself writing more female characters than I do male characters. And it's like one of those things where I think with the training that you got out of that program was fantastic. It really just switched, the way of thinking. Now, for better or worse, I probably there's a level where I probably should start writing what I know, the male experience, and stop trying
That's my fear of like, like I'm going to write a female character. And it's like, they joke about George R. Martin writing a female perspective. It's like she walked down the hallway, her breasts, feeling the soft velvet touch of her dress upon her supple nipples. It's like, I don't think that's what they're thinking about, like. Yeah,
like sure that's happening, but that's not the thing. That's
like
not what
my nipples. Yeah. Oh my gosh, I feel them through this fabric.
Jon Snow donned his wolfskin vest, feeling it on his nipple. George R. R. Martin just liked nipples. Didn't really care whose they were. Yeah. He was a nipple guy.
Yeah. So that's my fear of being like, I'm gonna write in a female voice and be like,
yeah.
I just took a mad shit and I feel better.
Look, you can't tell me that women don't feel that way.
Here's what I'm going to tell you.
Take a mad shit. Everyone feels better.
I worked this point. I brought this up briefly before we started recording, and I'm like, I'm going to save this for the podcast.
All right, let me hear it.
Before we started recording, Justin got here, and then he was like, all right, I got to go take a dump. And so he left for 5 minutes and 37 seconds, and he came back. And he was like, he's like, oh man, I feel better. I was like, I know, right? It got me thinking about sometimes, you guys, this is such a mind gap thing. Sometimes after I take a shit, like I just feel good for like 30 minutes afterwards. Like my body's just like, we got it out. And there's just this general, like, it almost feels like I have some sort of blessing or boon from like a video game. Like I'm just having like this aura around me. It's like, you did it. I'm like
you got a potion like from the dungeon crawler. Yeah, we or not. What were we?
What?
When we did the D&D light, what was our dungeon carrions?
Dungeon carrions.
We were obsessed with potions. So like it's like you got a potion. You're like, this is good. I feel this.
Yeah, you just feel good. And there's times where I'll be like, and Jill's like, what are you doing? I'm like, I don't know. I took a shit like 15 minutes ago and I still feel good.
You're audibly sighing.
I'm like, I feel good right now. And I go, do you ever feel that? And she goes, no. And I'm like, what? Is this just a guy thing?
I think, the wrong place to take a poll.
Beth right now if she feels good after she takes a shit. Like
pause, please. Yeah.
Like prolonged sense of like relief after taking a shit.
I just can't imagine that's just a guy thing. Like there's something so satisfying about, it's not every time, but there are ones where you're just like,
it's not like I just had diarrhea and I'm like, crawling on the floor being like, thank God the demon is loose. It's freed from its cage, But sometimes I take a dump and I come away and I'm like, God, I feel so much better now. Like it's just, I feel free and whatever.
It's a wildly satisfying.
I continually be like, man, I still feel really good. Like my stomach's like, yeah,
We did something today.
We took care of some business and now we are open for business.
We accomplished today, Doug. We accomplished. Things are good.
The gut fed was like, all right, I think it's time to start lowering the rates. It's time to start lowering the interest rates. Let's open up the business,
The gut fed.
And then like when it gets full, it's like, all right, we got to raise rates, guys. No, we got to slow down the economy because this is happening too fast. We got to curb this inflation,
We can't have a bullshit market in there.
No, sir. Yeah. So Jill's just looked at me like, no, that's never happened to me. And I'm like, okay.
I'll say this. That genuinely, I feel bad for her. Because there's something real satisfying about that. And I feel like everyone needs to.
It makes me think that like I have awful shits or something,
Well, you do. We're not arguing this.
You don't know. You don't know.
Doug. We worked together for quite some time.
That was when I was an unhealthy son of a bitch who had a quad burger, ordered a quad burger with cheesy fries, a soda, and also a fucking milkshake. Yeah.
Oh no, was that
Yeah,
what the
it was
order
a
was?
horrible thing that I ate.
I forgot the whole order.
See, the feeling that I get after taking a dump is now the opposite when I think about that. My stomach is like, oh God, I ate all of that. And I was just like, nom, 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 all in one sitting. And Jill literally goes, you can't do that anymore, man. Like, I don't want to tell you what to do, but you can't do that. Like, part of it was like, I think you bet me. You're like, I don't think you can do that. I'm like, oh, trust me, I can, you know?
Look, I'm not, I will absolutely own up to the fact that I'm sure I had a hand in this. I'm sure I pushed as far as I could with like, well, let me just.
Oh yeah. And I don't even know what the reward was.
Just
but the reward for me was like, I'm going to yell.
What is 3?
Yeah.
Right.
In my mind, I was like, good. Add more, you know?
For those uninitiated, the quad burger, counter to what it sounds like, has 5 patties on it.
Yeah.
There's a 5-patty burger from this place called, what the fuck was it even called?
I don't know.
Choppers. It's called Choppers in Chicago. If you're in Chicago and you're in the, North Avenue and
River North? I don't know.
North and, not Milwaukee. North and Ashland, I think is what it is.
Wow. 1659 North Ashland. God damn, dude.
Boom. North and Ashland. Check out Choppers. It's a good burger. And if you're feeling froggish, you know, take a leap. Do the quad burger.
Yeah. Do the quad burger.
If they still do it, they might have shut it down now. They might have been like, nah, too many people.
Yeah, I'm actually checking their website right now just to see if they got it.
Used to go there.
They do.
If you can find that. Do you remember Green River, the pop?
Yes.
Like, I don't think a pop existed that is more sugary than Green River. They used to
Green River.
Used to get a double burger there, the cheese fries, and a Green River. And it was just like, I look back at that and I go, what were we doing? What the fuck were we doing to ourselves?
Yeah, here's the thing. The quad, only $9. Yeah, it's 5 beef patties served on a toasted bakery bun with your choice of trimmings. I'm like,
that should cause concern.
Yeah, man.
That 5 patty burger is only $9.
Oh, hey, man, that's inflation. You know, I guess I did that with messy cheese fries. Oh, and then I got a fucking milkshake.
Oh God.
The only other time I felt really guilty is I remember going to this burrito place over by SMS, and they had like this massive, like extra large burrito. I ordered it and I was like, I'll take that. And I remember the guy looking at me like,
the guy who's selling it judged you for ordering it.
It's on the menu, but I'm like, yeah, I'll take that. And he kind of was like, okay.
No one orders this.
Like, not by themselves, you know? And I was like, I'll take a chorizo XL. And I was like, okay. And I ate the whole thing in one sitting. And I was just like, this is normal. This is good for my body. You know? Jesus Christ.
The thing that I love, this is one of those places in Chicago, and I'm sure other places, Chicago diners and stuff are known for this. The Pizza Puff.
Ugh.
Man, the Pizza Puff. Have you ever had one? I mean,
I have. I think it was pretty mediocre.
Let me ask 20-year-old Doug, because now Doug has a different palate. But
I think I tried those from places, and they were just very I'd rather have mid. To speak like the kids. It was pretty mid. You know?
Yeah, no cap.
I didn't have anything that was like spectacular. You know what I mean?
Okay. It brought me right back to high school. Like there's some, I just like every time I had that, I was like, what's that?
Like a pizza roll? It reminded me.
No, we served pizza puffs at our high school. Yeah.
Okay.
Like actual pizza, and they tasted just like the ones.
Somebody went to a rich school.
Exactly, pizza puffs. That's
true tell.
If that
Chicago Burbs, if I've ever heard of it, you know what I mean.
That doesn't screen opulence. I don't know what does.
I mean, yeah, we didn't have that where I was. We had barely legal meat smushed together, glued to a bun called a hamburger. You know?
Oh, we had believe it. We had the everything patties too.
Yeah,
like it was the fried chicken sandwich and the fried pork chop sandwich. They look awfully similar.
Yeah, and no, that's
awfully similar.
I had the same thing at college where you go down to like the quick service place and they give you like the burgers and you get them and they've just been like sitting under that warming light forever. So they're just like one melted. It's like the worst Oreo you've ever seen. You try to
around the edge, it's got that hard piece of bun.
You try to like unpeel it and the bread just rips off because it's like like hyper glued. The cheese is hyper glued. You're like,
we can all, and it's cheese, and it's sitting. It's been steamed.
Yes.
It's been sitting in that
that
foil wrapping.
It's just like, and you go, the only thing that'll make this better is just a shitload of ketchup, and you just like dip it in ketchup and eat it with every bite.
Oh my god! It tastes like a burnt hockey puck. It's
you're like, this is good. This is good. This life is good. You know,
it's giving me sustenance. Yeah, I got a burger for $1. This is great.
Yeah, that's the whole thing. You're just like, I got a burger. This is so cheap. It's like, yeah, because it barely qualifies as food.
The thing is, as you're describing that, everyone who's had that can immediately picture exactly just the little white pieces of bread just sticking on. Yeah, absolutely.
Just garbage food that I didn't know any better. And I was like, yep, this is good. This is good. This is what I want. This is what I want.
This is giving me sustenance.
So, Justin, you were telling me, Justin and I synced up today. We didn't realize it. It's not our birthdays. Didn't know we were on the same cycle, but we are. We both did our annual anti-harassment training today for our jobs, which was crazy. My God.
I look forward to this every year. You know, I'll tell you why. It's because this allows me like a 2-hour window of just completely checking out. because if you've done these harassment videos once, then you understand what's coming, and everything, I would say 95% of everything that's covered in there is just fucking common sense. And
here's the thing. Here's the sad part. We have to do this every year because there's someone out there that doesn't remember this stuff or doesn't know it or refuses to get. They're like, no, that's not harassment. They go, like, is this harassment? This guy, this client consultant who's like, hey, I like you. We should go out on a date. And the person goes, no, I don't think so. They're like, I disagree. Come with me. And like, is this harassment? The person's like, no, they didn't do anything wrong. Right. They like them. They're just trying to take them out. It's totally cool.
My favorite example today was that, Johnny starts following Carol Johnny and Carol sit next to each other and they don't have much social interaction during the day. But Johnny starts following Carol on social media after hours, and he comments on a few of her photos, or comments on a few of her photos over the past couple months about her body. Is this harassment? And it's like, yes, because this, no, because this, no, it's after hours, so it doesn't count. Something else. And I'm like, there are those people who fucking look at this and go, whatever, regardless of what you truly think, there's one answer they're looking for. Just click it and move on. Like,
well, actually, there's more than one, because the people that click, no, it's after hours, they get put on a list. They're like, we're going to watch that guy now. Because this guy is a fucking problem who thinks that I'm not in work hours. I can do whatever I want, you know?
It wasn't on company property. What's the problem?
I know. I wasn't wearing my company swag while I did it.
I was paying her a compliment. She should be grateful.
Like, nice tits, Betsy. You know, like...
It's, oh God. Yeah. I guess that's the thing. Common sense isn't so common as they say. So it's for those people that we all have to suffer. But some of these are just, I should have gone through and written down some of my favorite examples because some of them are just hysterical. And I wonder too, how many crossover between companies. How many you did versus how many I did that were just like, oh yeah, I had the exact same build out, you know? Yeah,
because these aren't built. No one has the legal balls to be like, we can make this in house and cover all of our bases. Oh, they get third party people who are like, we have verified this. We know what this is. Buy our stuff, and people are like, we will pay the fee because we do not want to be held liable for this. And
we'll give you a few of our details, and you plug in some specific, like we had, specific data retention ones that were like hyper specific to our company. They're just feeding. They're just feeding them.
Click the link to learn more about our policy. They use our policy doesn't do that. And
well, and I clicked a few of those links, and it did take me to it opened a new tab, and I'm like, oh well, there you go.
Yeah,
they don't even have the information loaded in the learning.
That makes perfect sense. As someone who builds learning, I'm like, absolutely not. You link that shit out. You don't want to build that in there. That's crazy. Right. You have to accommodate everything. That's insane. One of my favorite ones was, it's right off the gate. It was this old white lady and a woman of color, and she was like, Donna was the manager, and the other woman, we'll say, is Marie. She's like, Marie, this is the third time in a row your report was not in on time. You need to get this together, or we're going to have a serious conversation about your career here. It's like, is this harassment? It's like, no, it's just a little forceful. And then like there's a couple more examples, and it just ramps up to 11, where she's like, she's like, Marie, I swear to God, I barely wonder if you can even read. I mean, this is so bad, so full of grammar. And then like this guy, Ricardo, comes in. He's like, oh, I'm sorry. She's like, no, Ricardo, come in here. This is great. Ricardo's from Peru, and he writes better English than you do. I mean, come on. It's just this harassment? It's like, yes.
They're like, you know what the thing is? They keep ramping it up until you get it wrong. They want to see what your threshold is. It's like going to the eye doctor. They're like, we're just going to keep giving you examples until you fail, and then we'll know where your threshold is.
Yeah. I was just like, Jesus Christ, Donna. It's like, ugh, this is so bad.
Reel it back, Donna. God.
Yeah. And there was another one where it's like, hi, my name's Gary, and one of my direct reports, Mo. I really like him. I think I'm going to ask him out. What do you think I should do? It's like, don't do it. It's like, don't. No. Like, and one of them's like, it's no big deal if he doesn't tell anybody. You know, like.
That sounds like a very, well, they didn't tell you Mo's the intern.
Right. And it goes 3 months later, he goes, hey, so I didn't take your advice. Mo and I are dating, and it's great. We have so much fun. I think I love him. But some of the other people on the team are thinking that maybe, I might be giving him preferential treatment. I don't know what to do. It's like, well, you should have not done this.
Did yours really go down that road?
Mm-hmm.
Your shit. Wow. Yours is, I think you won this round. Ours, I thought our examples were wild. They actually gave you like, it's a follow-up story. You got the sequel. You went down the road and like caught up with these guys after they had the relationship.
Justin, I'm gonna blow your mind.
That's amazing.
There was a third part to this where like 3 months later, interaction. Mo comes into whatever Gary's office. It's like, hey, I noticed you gave me a really bad review. Is this because I broke up with you?
Oh, they didn't make it. Oh,
he's like, no, your performance was really bad. He goes, yeah, well, it sucks, and I think you should do something about it. And then Gary turns back to the screen. He goes, it's true. Mo did break up with me, and it really bothered me, but his performance has been really bad. And I'm just trying to be honest, but now I don't know what to do. It's like, you shouldn't have fucked him. He's your direct report. Don't do that.
Wait. Did you have actors? Is this live action?
Yeah.
Oh my God. I would have killed to see that. I would have paid attention. Yeah. All of ours were just like the stop motion or just the crudely drawn outlines of people that just kind of like waft across the screen like a ghost. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. It's like clip art. It just
Clippy comes out and goes, is this harassment?
Right. Looks like you're trying to stick it in his ass.
Looks like you have a direct report. Do you want to fuck him?
Right?
Do you want to exert your power over him?
Oh my God, that's amazing that you had live action. Oh my, I'm so jealous.
From a learning perspective, it's good. It gives you scenarios, and you have to try and figure out based on the information. It's less of like specific recall, like what's the definition of unconscious bias? And it's more like, here's a scenario. What is the best thing to do? And I'm like, I like that way better because I can easily figure that out because I'm like, there's the insane answer, not that one.
I'm not going to lie to you. I have a new goal for 2 East 8th. I want to produce these videos for companies. This sounds incredible. I would love to be on this set and everyone you call. Okay, that's we're going to reset. Everyone take 10, go ahead and get some water, whatever. And then just be like, can you fucking believe this is the shit that we're filming doing right now?
Well, not only that, like you have to get a specific actor. You can't have someone that's too good, because they won't do it because they're going to skill out of this stuff, but they can't be too bad where it's like, it's going to be distracting. There's just this perfect balance of like mid, where God bless them. They're working, but also this is what you're doing,
It's like someone who does regional theater who wants to break into screen and you're like, well, here you can get some on camera experience.
Yeah. There's just
good luck.
There's no like, there's no sense of like, oh, you guys are reading your lines. Got it. Cool. Like we understand. No one, you maybe memorized this, but I absolutely do not believe that this is a scene with two people who are manager or whatever. There was another one where this consultant was hitting on this woman, and she was like, yeah, I feel she goes to her manager. She goes, I feel really uncomfortable with this. He keeps hitting my, she's like, what do you have to worry about? It's fine. Like, yeah, go out to dinner with him. It'll be great. Besides, he's one of the best consultants that we have. And I bet, the board would be really upset if they had to get rid of him. And hey, aren't you up for a promotion? This would be really great if you
Jesus
I was just like, you're like
you're pimping someone out now.
Your direct report. Exactly. Like, yeah, you should totally go out on a date and make him happy.
Right.
Like,
oh my God, dude.
It's like, this is quid pro quo. It's like, okay, got it.
And here's the other thing. Here's the sad part about all this is that these specific examples are shown to you and the questions are asked because this has happened. Like
100%.
This has fucking happened. How fucking nuts is that?
Dude, at SMS, everyone was fucking everybody. Like it was the most
just
like
unhinged. Yeah.
And I'm so dumb to that store stuff. I never picked it out. But like,
it's like when I was working at Connie's Pizza.
Yeah.
I would expect that from a pizza pub place, not from an office, like a unicorn startup company.
Yeah. No, I was one of the team leads, and one of the team leads was fucking our manager. Like and I thought the two of them had kind of an unusual rapport with each other, like in meetings and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But the people were like, it took me forever to be like, they're like, oh yeah, they're in a relationship together. And I was like, what? Are you kidding me? And I just heard countless stories of people that were just like in relationships that shouldn't have been in relationships. And it was wild. Gross. It was super gross. I'm like, we're just going to let this happen, huh? Okay.
Who's that one dude at the who always did at the talent show? He always did stand up.
Dude, I thought of him not that long ago when someone talked about doing a company's talent show. I'm like, never again. I will always shoot down this idea. People are like, we should do a talent show. I'm like, no, we shouldn't.
Who was he banging?
I don't know why he was still around, but he was like a relic, and that guy
comfortable.
That guy made he was on the spectrum for sure. He just didn't pick up on any social cues whatsoever.
It was rough. It was rough. Yeah. And you want to talk about some inappropriate stand up that he did at the oh boy.
This guy did it every year they had it. He did it, and people allowed him to do it every year.
Which is that's an even more wild. Like that's probably the wildest part about the whole thing. They let him do it again. They knew it was coming.
Multiple times he's done
multiple times.
Like he did it. I don't know how many years we did. Maybe like 3 years. He did it every year, and everyone's like, "Yeah, let him do it."
I think I still have the footage. We can pull that up and reminisce sometime.
He made some sort of joke about Thanksgiving and like Cowboys versus the Redskins, like for the football. Like because it was always it was a Detroit, and it might be Detroit and Dallas always play on Thanksgiving. I forget what it is. He goes, but really what it should be is like, the Cowboys versus the Redskins. And I was like, dude.
Again, also like, okay, so first off, not funny. Also, like second, like that. What are we in, like 1988? Like that is such dated material, dude.
Yeah, and it's just he just says it, and people are just you hear a couple coughs in the crowd. I literally was like, I gotta leave the room. I can't be here for this. Like,
well, the one year you hosted,
and I left the room.
I'll never forget. Yeah, that was that was a wild times.
That was wild times. So let us know in those comments. Are you fucking your coworkers? Are you fucking your boss? Is your boss fucking somebody? Did they take the anti-harassment training?
Did you pass or fail? Did you pass or fail your integrity training?
Yeah, because we want to know more about it. What's the worst one you've seen?
Right. Oh God. Yeah. Some of it is just so dry, but every once in a while you get some of those. I still can't believe you have actors. It is a live action.
All the ones I've had for the past,
that makes me so fucking jealous.
I think for the last, 2 jobs that I've had, like they've been live actors. Like,
God, darn it.
Yeah.
Oh, that makes me so jealous. I would
living the dream,
watch
baby.
That kind of shit.
Living the fucking dream.
I will say they did the keep yourself safe, kind of like the active, like the run, hide, fight kind of thing, Boy,
that was a real downer when I would do onboarding. I'm like, hey guys, guess what we're going to do now? Active shooter training.
Well, it was, so they went through, they had 3 people at their desk and they all got an alert. Apparently we have some sort of a company alert system on our phones. I've never been told to download anything, so I don't know what that is. But a company alert system on our phone. So, these 3 people, they get up and they run. Let's put ourselves in this first person's shoes. And, so they're the run. And so like, find the nearest exit. And you got to click on it, and then they run through the door.
Oh,
and
it's
then
interactive?
Yeah, it was. Like if you clicked on the wrong door, you heard like and it said the bathroom's locked. It's like a video game. Like it was
boom.
No. A rattling of the door. It said the bathroom is locked, and so then you had to go in the conference room.
Okay,
so it was the run, the hide, and then the last one. There's like, okay, now let's follow so and so, and it was there's the stairs are too crowded, and the bathrooms are what, and okay, so they got in there, and
someone's taking a shit,
right? So as you're here, you're in so and so's in the broom closet or the janitor's closet, but the gunshots are getting closer, and I was like, "This is really the gunshots are getting closer. What should they do?" And it was run, and you were like, "Fight, right? If you can't, run, you're this and this." They were like, "Click on some, get interactive. Click on something could be used as a weapon in the thing."
You had to do improvised weapons.
I had to click on a broom, and it was like, yes, or correct. And it said this and this, and it said, but before you have to fight, the building officer, alerted everyone, said all clear. I'm like, I want to know what happened to the shoot. He was getting closer. What happened? Like you didn't finish the story.
Broom beats gun in
every time. It was wild. Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Wow.
Yeah. So there you go.
Well, that's wild.
Tell us about your wildest integrity trainings.
Yeah, right. Speaking of wild, I want to talk about this one real quick before we get to our game. But child tired of waiting for mom crashes into daycare. So this happened in my old stomping grounds of Missouri, because of course it did. But basically, there was an 11-year-old boy and his mom. They stopped at a daycare to go pick up their other kid, and the 11-year-old boy, she left him in the car. And apparently he got bored and impatient, and he wanted to drive away. So he thought he put the car in reverse, but he put it in a drive, and he drove into the daycare. Now, no one got hurt, but Thankfully. He did ruin some bushes and did some, they may need some more drywall before it's all said and done. But I got, there's a quote in here that really threw me off. I think I couldn't figure out who this person is because they didn't really reference her again. Her name's Charlene Williams. She just says, it's kind of scary leaving an 11-year-old child in the car unattended. I don't know about you, but my mom left me in the car unattended like all the fucking time when I was a kid, like nonstop.
I don't think 11 is that young. Like, I feel like
she left me in there when I was way younger. Like,
I don't think that's. I don't remember. I think I remember being left in the car younger than that. I think I did. Yeah,
I remember. I have countless memories of my mom being like, "I'm going to go in the store, wait here," and I would just be sitting in the car waiting for her to go in and get a prescription filled or whatever.
Now, would she leave the keys? Would she leave it running?
Nope.
Right. So I think that's part of the problem here. Yeah. You don't leave your kid in the car and the car running. Like that's a recipe for disaster no matter what age the kid is.
I mean, unless it's like super cold or super hot, right? Like you want to.
I guess, yeah.
They're like dogs.
Or look, okay. I'm just saying, a lot of cars have remote starts, so maybe
True.
grab those keys and turn it on, crack the window for them. Be like, here's some water.
I don't know. That blew me away though, where it's like kind of scary leaving an 11-year-old in the car unattended. I'm like, 11 years old. That's like fifth grade.
It's not like she went like down the block and then into another building, up an elevator, and she was like, she went parked in a parking lot, went into the daycare close enough for the kid to hit the gas and then go through the window. So she wasn't like, she was within eyesight of this car. Yeah. So I don't think that's scary.
No.
I think what's scarier is the fucking mom left the keys in the car, left it running.
Well, I don't know, man. It gets me thinking about were we being abused by being left in the car? I don't think so. I didn't feel like, oh my God, there's an 8-year-old in the car all by themselves. Like, I was like, yeah, this was normal.
Yo, no, I don't. Yeah. I don't think so. Well, look, again, you got to look at it from the times. The times were different, right? Like,
I know.
I remember real young, or my dad, he tells stories. He's like, I remember like laying up on the dashboard on long like car trips. Like back in the so I think you got to look at the side of the times. Like, was it child abuse? Was it endangerment? Probably, but was it abuse? No.
I mean, wasn't it? But I'm like, I don't know. My mom's like, I'm gonna go in the store, and I'm like, okay, and I just sat in the car and I waited. I didn't, I didn't just whatever.
And you didn't
existed,
and you weren't bored.
I wasn't bored.
Or you were
I just
bored,
sat
but
there and I just waited.
You thought about things.
Yeah. But like a couple years ago now, he goes, I'm like, all right, we're gonna go to the store. She goes, can I just stay here? And I go, absolutely not.
Oh, so you had an opposite reaction.
Well, like when she was like 5 or 6, I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? No, I'm not leaving you in the car. Get the hell out of here. Get out. Now, just like earlier this year, I had to go by a store to drop off something. And now he's like, is it cool if I stay in here? I go, yeah, if you want to, that's fine. No big deal. Like I was like doing the math. I'm like, yeah, you're old enough. It's fine. I don't give a shit. Like, yeah. It's totally cool. But there's a point where I was like, no.
I do think there's an age, like maybe like 5, probably too young. You know, 6, 7, probably too big. Like 8, 9, 10, we're getting into the 11 is far. Like, dude, like I'm chilling in the car. Don't worry about me. Don't worry about me.
11-year-old is in 5th grade.
I got a Game Boy. I'm good to go.
They'll be all right.
Yeah.
And it got me thinking about how, like, some kids have been stopped for walking their dogs. The police are like, what are you doing? What are you doing outside the house? And they're like, I'm walking my dog. They're like, you can't be out here alone. They're like, I'm 19,
Didn't some lady get arrested for letting her kid walk to the park alone?
Yeah.
Do you remember that story?
Mm-hmm.
Which again, I'm just like, it's within a neighborhood is what it was. And like, yeah. So I don't know. I think people are just, we've gone too far, Doug. We've gone too far.
There's this organization called Let Grow that I've sort of followed since, having a child and things like that. And they really promote independence, like in giving your kids the room to play and exist in the world and all sorts of stuff like that. And they actually challenge parents to be like, give your kid a list, have them go into the store and have them get that stuff and then come back out. Like, have them go and do that. Challenge them to do things like that. Or to give them, they let you print out little cards that says, my parents, this is my permission slip to walk around. My parents have signed this. They know that I'm doing this. Really? I'm allowed to do this on my own. Like, that sort of stuff. Yeah. And I'm trying to do, I'm like with Natalie turning, her birthday's very soon. I'm going to be like, all right, that's going to become my goal. I'm going to give her a list when we go get groceries, but I want you to go get these things.
Yeah.
And then come find me. Like
that's cool though. I mean, that's yeah.
Because I want to give her the freedom. I don't want to forever just be like, it sucks as a parent where you're like, yeah, okay, I'll see you. And to be like, like, are you okay? Is it cool? You good? You good? You know? I was talking to another parent today. They're talking about, they just taught their daughter how to ride their bike. And she's like, how far ahead do you let them go? Like, before you make them
all
turn
things
around.
that I'm sure if you've never done it. Yeah.
I was like, I don't really worry about it. I just tell her to, don't go to these main roads without us because, they're busier. But I go, most of our neighborhood's pretty chill. So I'm like, just stay on the sidewalk and you'll be okay.
Yeah.
Like, I don't worry about it. So,
like if she wants, like Natalie wants to hop on and go for a ride, like you and Jill don't
she
have to go
doesn't
with
do
her.
that, but I want to challenge her to.
Yeah.
I want to try and challenge her to try and do that by herself because, she's pretty dependent on us, like for most things. And I'm just like, yeah, I mean, I got to get her to the point where I'm like, yeah, go to the playground,
Right. I'm going to ask you this already. Are we hitting double digits this year? Or is this 9?
Next year.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but like there's kids that walk home from school after I pick her up. I see them just walking, they're walking across main roads and stuff like that. And they're just on their way walking home. And I'm like, they're doing this stuff. And like, I see kids, some kids are riding their bikes to high school. I go, you could do that at some point. You're not going to be that far,
Dude, latchkey kid. I was a latchkey kid. Yeah. I think that was what it was back in the day. We just came home, you'd pop the TV on, you ate some shitty food, and then you ruined your dinner.
Dude, I was the first one home in my family because I was the youngest and I was in elementary school. And my brother was in junior high, so I got home sooner than he did. I come home, door was never locked. Just open up the front door, come in, throw my bag down. I'd turn on The Simpsons. I'd get like some fucking Star Crunch or some goddamn ice cream or something, and I'd sit there and I'd eat it because I knew I had about 25 minutes before anyone else got home, and then I would put it away. I had a problem, and I'm still dealing with that today. I felt shame because I was doing something I knew I wasn't supposed to.
Yeah. Anyway, it's wild though.
It's wild that this happened, but the thing that stood out to me was this person that's like, it's kind of scary leaving an 11-year-old in a car unattended. I'm like, no, it's not. I disagree.
Right.
That's not scary.
Well, I like
to know what you consider to be a horror film, Charlene, I'm sorry, it's Shailene. My bad.
Shailene, yeah. I also want to know who this woman is.
I don't know. It's just weird.
I just did a control or command F and looked. That's the only place in the entire page that she's listed.
Who is this person? You know what I mean?
It's kind of scary. This random person gave their opinion.
Yeah. Like it's because above that, it's like Lisa Greenwald, who works at the salon next door. Like they give some sort of qualifier.
There we go. Right. Exactly.
and then Shailene just goes, it's kind of scary. And then they just move on. I'm like, who's Shailene?
Do you think they were talking to? Do you think they were talking to Lisa and Shailene just sidled up and was like, "Yeah, it's pretty scary, right?"
She's like, "It's so scary. There's an 11-year-old in a car all by themselves. It's my worst fear.
It's my worst fear." Okay, just calm down.
Cool. What do you do?
I'm Shailene.
They go down and your name is Shailene Williams, and they look up and she's gone.
She's just
like this is a horror movie.
Do we have to put that in the article now? I think we do.
I mean, we kind of want to. I mean, it's a useful quote, but like, who is this Shailene? The editor's like, who is this? Shailene? I don't know. They were there and then they were gone. They're like, fucking nobody reads this.
Star of the article, Shailene Williams.
That's right. Who is Shailene Williams? That's what we want to know.
Listeners, you've got your orders for this week. Figure out who this is.
All right, Justin, you ready to play a game?
Guess who's back?
Let's do it.
Oh yeah. It's that time again where I'm going to play Justin a clip from a movie, and he has to guess that movie, or bad things happen.
That's right.
Or we take that poop he just pooped out and we shove it right up his butt. We put it back in where it came from.
You can't put the toothpaste back in the tube, Doug.
I beg to differ. All right.
Oh, God.
You have seen all these movies, guaranteed.
Guaranteed. Okay, great.
Guaranteed.
Love it.
You've seen all these movies. All right. Here we go. Here's the first one.
It's not about what I want. It's about what's fair! You thought we could be decent men in an indecent time.
Shit.
There was so much more of that clip that I wanted to play, but I'm like, this is only almost 25 seconds. I can't do it.
That by itself was 25 seconds?
No, like there was more that came after.
Okay.
And I wanted to play more because it's such a great quote, but I'm like, it's almost 25 seconds. I can't do it.
Shit. All right, so I'm gonna try doing the thing. Let's break it down. I'm gonna try play it again. I'm gonna see if I can get the actor's voice.
All right, here we go.
It's not about what I want. It's about what's fair! You thought we could be decent men in an indecent time.
I'm so disappointed in myself already.
Why? Don't do this to yourself.
I've seen all you've seen all of them, guaranteed.
Guaranteed, you have, but that's not the point.
Okay, so man, I pick up a bunch of different actors, which none of them are probably correct.
Well, you always say that, but let's start firing them out.
Well, the very first, play it one more time, real quick.
Okay, one more time. Here we go.
It's not about what I want. It's about what's fair! You thought we could be decent men in an indecent time.
Fuck. Okay.
I'll say this much: if you guess that actor, I'll be impressed.
Okay.
Because I don't know if he would be at the top of my mind, but that's also just my head. So,
I was every time Walton Goggins.
Nope.
I'm just gonna go back to him every time. Decent men. All right, it's for some reason, and it does not sound like these two, but I can't get these two names out of my head. Is Tom Cruise and Matt Damon? It's not those.
It is not those.
Okay, I was like,
either.
It's one of those where you get for some reason they pop in. We've talked about this before. You're like, I got to clear that out of the head there.
Yeah, just got to clear it out. Yeah.
Oh my God, is this person? Oh Christ Almighty, this one's tough. You're gonna tell me what it is, and I'm gonna. This is one of those where I will be. Oh yeah.
Yeah,
that's
I think you will.
Right there.
I think you will. Yeah.
Okay, can you give me the year it came out? Is that possible?
2008.
2008. Right.
Is that right?
2000.
Yes.
Superbad.
Holy shit. You
right?
got it.
You're welcome. I think that was 2007.
But award season of 2008, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so this guy's not happy for sure. He's very upset by things. Let's just talk
This
scene
guy,
through. Yeah,
not
he's
pleasant.
He's in something. The place he's in is kind of echoey.
He's peeved.
He's peeved. It's not Mortal Kombat.
They are peeved in that film. That's true.
Raiden yells. Can you give me any of the co-stars?
Oh man.
Nope. Okay, got it. Understood.
Who's a deep cut here? Oh, Nestor Carbonell.
Oh, would it be funny if I just said the
Dude,
name
yeah.
of the movie?
Like,
Just
oh,
as like, oh, dude, Nestor, I love that guy.
That dude from Lost? Hell yeah.
Is it the butterfly effect?
It is not.
Okay. I'm Doug. I'm flaming out of this one. I'm not gonna lie.
It's okay. It's okay.
Can you give me the director?
Christopher Nolan.
You said 08?
Mm-hmm.
08. Is that Harvey Dent?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Really? That's the Dark Knight. Shit.
Yeah. It's a part of the climax of the film where
Shit.
he's got Commissioner Gordon and Batman and Commissioner Gordon's son.
Yes.
And Batman's like, what do you want? He's like, it's not what I want. It's about what's fair. You thought we could be decent men in an indecent time.
God damn it. Yes.
But wrong.
Wow. Well done
He goes
on that one.
Basically say things like, the only thing that's truly fair is chance.
If you would let that play, I'd like to believe that I would have gotten it.
Because it goes on, again, it's too long, but it's great. But he goes on to say, like, the only thing that's really true is fair. Like, just this is what's fair. And he says, we're going to flip the coin to see whether or not his son dies. Shit. Yeah.
Nicely done.
I just love that. I love that quote. Where you thought we could be decent men in an indecent time, because I think that's very true right now.
Yes, man. Talk about applicable now. Yes,
the last year, or longer, or more. Like,
Doug, it's been a month. Okay,
it's been a month. Yes, it's been a lifetime. All right.
Here
we go.
Let me redeem myself on this one. Here we go.
All right, here we go.
There are no two words in the English language more harmful than good job.
That's Whiplash.
That's Whiplash, baby. J.K. Simmons.
Yes.
Just rewatch that film. That's a film where I'm like, can I handle this? Can I handle this one?
It's a mindfuck of a film.
It's such a good film, but I'm torn by the outcome of it because I don't agree with the methods.
It's funny. I showed Bob that movie, and as a musician, he was like, "Here's why this movie doesn't work." Mm-hmm. And he listed it off, but it basically is that he goes like at the end, he's like, in reality, X, Y, and Z. He's like, yada yada yada. So I think
why didn't it work? I want to know now. I'm very. Do you not remember?
I don't remember the points he made, but I will say that in regards to how you were like the methods at the end and everything, like he referenced something about like how it ended up and how. I don't know, whatever it was. We'll figure it out. I'll get Bob to record a minute thing and we'll play it next episode. But I still say whether or not it's believable from a musician standpoint or someone who went to music school, I think that's such a fucking good movie.
I think what I meant to say is like, I don't agree with the method in which J.K. Simmons' character Fletcher terrorizes people.
Oh, you're saying that? Okay, got it. He was talking about from a reality standpoint.
I don't know what that means as far as like, it seems real to me. So that shows you how much I know about music. So I'm like, yeah, he did it. Like, but the idea that he's going to push someone to a point where it's going to make them great, I strongly disagree with the method. Because at the end, it ends in a positive way where, Miles Teller's character like rises to the occasion. I'm like, yeah, he gets put through fucking hell. And it's like, and then he gets this mutual respect from this demonic person who's like, yeah, man, you're doing it. And it's like, fuck you. No, you don't get to do that. And it's just like the terror that he puts this kid through. And I'm always like, oh, this part's tough. This part's rough. Oh, but it's worth it. It's so worth it for that end sequence. It's so good. So good. Yeah. All right.
Amazing.
Very good.
Amazing movie. All right, let's go. Let's do it.
All right. Last one.
Make it 2 out of 3.
Here we go.
Why are you doing this? Because I see at long last what's wrong with the world. Too many
sorcerers.
Fuck. Hold on. Doctor Strange.
Yes.
Yes. I was like, wait a second. I was playing I could see it, but I couldn't grasp it.
If you're just listening, Justin was like in a zen moment. He's just like, oh my God, don't fucking say anything.
Don't
talk.
Yep.
Just stay quiet. Just see it. I get it. Yes.
Because here's the thing, and I 100% knew it wasn't, but all the scenes in Harry Potter flashed before my eyes.
Hey, sorcerer, right?
Because I was like, is there a point where like Draco Malfoy's dad or so, like there was I'm like in the later movies and I'm like, no, that's not it. I'm like, I knew, but I could see it. I could see that scene. It's such, oh man.
That's one of my favorite. That's an underrated end credit sequence.
Oh, extremely. But I'll say this, an underrated in credit sequence, but one of the prime examples of how Marvel just didn't really do anything with, like, there's a few times, and the people have done some supercuts on this, where there's been in credit sequences or teasers or setups or things that Marvel just didn't pay off the way that they, like, it got built up and it's just like, that was such, you were setting yourself up for a home run on this one.
I really liked Mordo. I think he's a really interesting character. I liked him in that film and how the Ancient One describes him as like, he's very rigid. Like he has his ways and he's stubborn.
Right.
He's like, but he needs you and your flexibility in the way that you see the world. But he sees like he has a code and he lives by that code. And when he feels betrayed by it, he's like, cool. I love that sequence because he shows up and just takes that guy's power.
Yeah.
Cripples him again.
Yep.
And he's just like, too many sorcerers. I'm like, oh shit. And then we don't see him again until Multiverse of Madness, which is a very meh film.
Which is what I'm saying. It's just, it was like, I don't know.
I was excited when I saw he was like in the trailer. I'm like, oh shit, Mordo's in it. That'll be interesting. These two get to see each other again. You know.
Here's the thing. And this is just, we'll go on a little tangent here. I think that was set up enough that was such a powerful line. I think the next Doctor Strange should have just been him. He was the big bad. I think it should have been Strange versus him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I feel like it was like, that was such a great, like, holy shit, he's going to start going around and ripping people's magic out of them. And he's going to get to the point where Strange is going to have trouble. Like it lent itself to be this huge
and
thing.
I know in the comics that it is a feud between those two.
Right.
Like they are rivals and things like that. So it would have been good. So, but I love that whole sequence. Where
Such a wonderful
yeah. He's now opened up his mind to something else where he's like, this is a problem.
Yeah.
Sorcerers are a problem because they fuck with the natural flow, and I'm going to do something about it, which was really cool. But,
yeah.
Well done. 2 out of 3, Justin.
Woo, I'll take it.
He gonna take it, y'all. Well done. All right, Justin, what do you have to recommend this week?
Well, speaking of natural flow, I am going to recommend the Oscar-nominated animated feature called Flow. I'm bragging. I know the Oscar nominations. Go fuck yourself. No, Flow. It's one of the ones that is nominated for Best Animated Feature. It's from Latvia. A cat is a solitary animal, but as its home is cat, not a cat. Cat, the name of the character, is a solitary animal. But as its home is devastated by a great flood, he finds refuge in a boat populated by various species and will have to team up with them despite their differences. Really, for no dialogue and just animal sounds, incredibly beautiful. Kept our attention. At one point, Beth and I paused it and went, is this too intense for us tonight? Like, because like we were looking for a fun animated film. This has got like emotion to it. And I'm genuinely nervous about if these animals are going to make it. Like they did a really fucking good job. So yeah, I would highly recommend watching Flow. I do believe that it is on,
I think it's on Max.
It's on Max. Okay. So yeah, you can
good
find
for
it.
Kids or no?
Yes, it's heavy. It's not scary, but it's, I would say yes, but I don't have a kid, so I don't know.
I was like,
what's the qualifier? Like what would make it not good for a kid? Like just attention, like grabbing attention?
I don't know. Is it like, too dark or anything like that?
No, it's not too dark. I don't think it's too dark. There's some points where she might get sad, but everyone.
Welcome to life, child.
You know what I mean? Like, animal's gonna animal. That's all I'm saying.
What I mean? That's all I'm saying.
Yes, it's PG, so I'm putting that out there.
Okay.
But it's a Latvian PG.
Awesome. So at least three boobs.
NC-17, yeah.
Yeah. Some side boob, top boob, under boob.
Real quick, the cool thing is the guy who directed this, he said that normally he works by himself on projects, and he's not a real big collaborator. And this was the first time he opened himself up to creative collaboration, and it led to an Oscar nomination. So I thought that was kind of a cool...
He's like, and I'm going to fire everyone after I get this award, and I'm never going to do it again.
And I'd like to remind everyone, this is my film. My name's on it.
He's like, every week I'd ask them to email me 5 things that they did. And if they didn't, then I was going to fire them.
I killed them.
I killed their careers.
Doug, what do you got to recommend?
I finished it. I finished book 7 of
Nice.
Dungeon Crawler Carl. And for my birthday, Jill got me a Dungeon Crawler Carl shirt.
I was going to ask you what that shirt was about.
It says, God damn it, donut. If you know the book, you get it. You get the
I don't.
reference. If you don't, go fuck yourself. It was phenomenal. And I was immediately depressed when it was over. I'm like, God damn it.
You're going to have to wait an indeterminate amount of
how
time.
long it will take for this next one to come out. It was so fucking good. It kind of took a bit to get started, but once it got started, it just didn't stop. It was just like, I'm like overwhelmed for these characters and all the shit that was going on. I'm like, oh my God.
I love it.
And what I love about the Matt Dinneman, the way he does it is things happen in the book because you're like, things have to happen, right? There's a conflict that has to be resolved. It never resolved in a way that I thought it would, in a good way. And it wasn't like M. Night Shyamalan, like, what a twist. It was just very much like, oh, that's interesting. I did not see that going that way. Fascinating.
Love it.
And it just continued to open up, the world to greater things. And I was like, God damn, this is, I think my brother described it as, this is way better than it should be. And I don't know what that means, but it's just like, when you look at the concept of it, you're like, I mean, this should be fine. It is way better. Like, when I try to describe what it is, I'm sure people are like, I don't know if it's my thing. I'm like, it's so good.
It has no reason being this good.
It is so good. It goes beyond just this idea of this fantasy dungeon crawler or whatever. Like, it has such great, impactful, emotional elements and characters, and they're real, and there's just, I don't know, man, it's fantastic, and I can't wait for the next one. I'm gonna have to wait at least probably 2 years.
So, that is a heartbreaker.
Dungeon Crawler Carl, This Inedible Ruin is out now on Audible, which I recommend, or it's also available in its actual book form. So whichever one you like, whatever tickles your fancy, go do it. Speaking of tickling fancies, if you like what you're hearing, hit the like and subscribe button, youtube.com/mindgappodcast. We'd greatly appreciate it. And I want to shout out our watch time is shot up recently. So thank you to people who've been watching the episodes. Much love. Shout out to Azure Rhino, Mr. E, and other people who have been listening to our stuff. We really appreciate it.
Yes.
I joked with Justin. I go, man, if people just listen to our whole episodes, we've been doing great. So people who have been listening, thank you so much for listening to us. We greatly appreciate you. Greatly appreciate your support. Head over to youtube.com/mindgappodcast. Like, subscribe. Links in the description to links to our Discord if you want to come hang out. If join us for a night where we look at all the Marvel Rivals characters' butts, just like Justin did. We can do that. Hang out with the rest of the Mind Gap family there. Check the links for links to our Patreon and for our merch at Redbubble. Check out Justin online as well.
On Instagram at Justin_Michael, spelled Mikel. It's the fun way of spelling it. And while you're in the online realm, you can find us on any platform where you find audio podcasts. So that's GoodPod, Podbean, Apple Podcast, Spotify. Any of those will do. Go ahead and subscribe, share, rate, review, all the things that we ask every week. All the things that you can do on there. Big one is sharing, though. Let someone know that we exist. Say, hey, I just watched this whole episode. You should watch this whole episode too. And let's get that watch time up. That would be amazing. And then 2east8th.com, 2east8th on all social media, loveanimprovfilm.com, and loveanimprovfilm on Instagram.
Woot woot. With that, I'll say, Justin, thank you.
Douglas, thank you.
Listeners, viewers, thank you. And you all have a goddamn great week.
Mind Gap Podcast.